What's going on, YouTubers? It's the Natural Born Thriller, and welcome everyone to All Elite Wrestling Review, the show from July 28th, 2020, and this will be your AEW Dark results that took place in Jacksonville, Florida, in Daly's Place, with your commentators Excalibur and Taz. Speaking of Excalibur, folks, if you heard about what happened with Excalibur, that's gonna be saved on the AEW Dynamite results when I get to that review. And I think is ridiculous, but we'll talk more about that when I get to that review of it itself. But for now, I'm gonna talk about AEW Dark, and I believe there were about 12 matches here. I will go back to see it, to see if it was 12 matches. But yeah, a lot of matches for AEW Dark. I mean, no surprise there because for weeks now we've been getting a lot of good matches. A lot of matches on AEW Dark. Not saying all of them were good matches, but I was just saying we're getting a lot of matches on AEW Dark. Some were good, some were decent, some I was not fond of, some I didn't even watch, which that had something to do with Marco's stunt growth. But yeah, so as usual, because of the pandemic that we're in right now, and it's just so important for me to talk about, I'll talk about it. But I'm gonna be doing just who's in the match, my thoughts on the match, and gonna move on from there. So by the way, if you hear the beep noise for a reason, please ignore that. That beep noise is from the living room, and for a reason it won't stop beeping, and we can't turn it off or anything because it's gonna be it's complicated, but it's not my decision. But just let you all know that if you do hear beeping during the portion of any reviews or anything else that's moving forward on my content, just let you know that a little heads up on that one, and I'll always give you a little heads up on every videos I'll be doing here on YouTube. So we get the first match starting off with, it was a tag team match. It is The Initiative, which is Brandon Cutler and Peter Avalon being accompanied by Leva Bates. Excuse me. But yeah, that's their new tag team name, and I like it. And another thing, I like that they're still a tag team, despite pertains to Brandon Cutler telling Peter Avalon, no more cheating and everything, blah blah blah. Not saying blah blah blah. I wasn't invested. I'm just trying to move forward, because I thought the promo he did was good on being the Elite. Basically, it was a match that had after the match against the Butcher and the Blade from the last AEW Dark show, which that aftermath promo that Brandon Cutler basically was telling Peter Avalon that we need to cheat and everything, we gotta win for it to mean something and all that, and it will be worth it in the end of the day. That was on being the Elite, the previous the latest episode of being the Elite. And so they go up against FTR, Cash Wheeler and Dax Harwood, meant to say. And you had the Young Bucks, Matt and Jackson at ringside, being fans. And match happens. So the Initiative versus the FTR team in this match, and I thought this match was good. There was a point that the Bates book was being tortured by FTR in the match, but also you had FTR doing their usual stuff where it tends to be a heel tag team, and it's slowly showing, very slowly showing that they're gonna be a heel, and eventually they're gonna turn on the Young Bucks. When it's gonna happen, I don't know, but hey, the more they wait, it's gonna mean a lot more, and it's gonna be worth it at the end of the day. Just like eventually the initiative, excuse me, Peter Avalon and Brandon Cutler will finally get a win on AEW. So, but unfortunately, this was not the time for them to win, because FTR is one of being the ones that are being focused right now on AEW, and they're on the hot momentum right now of being undefeated in tag team wrestling right now. Except for that one match which they did not take the pinfall loss. It was one of the Young Bucks that took the pinfall loss. But nevertheless, you had FTR winning the match, and after the match, you have FTR going to the Young Bucks and shaking hands with them. Know that, still showing that they're still friends with them. They're still cool with one another until eventually, they would turn on the Young Bucks. So, and also speaking of which, FTR were being looked at in the crowd, from far for the distance in the section of Tully Blanchard. Tully Blanchard was there, and also FTR, give Tully Blanchard a nod there after they won the match. Just the way they did it, I like. Okay, there's something going on here. There's definitely something going on here, where Tully Blanchard has interest for FTR. What's it going to be for Shawn Spears? I don't know. Speaking of Shawn Spears, we'll get to him later on. Hopefully, if when that comes up, I'll bring it up. But if it doesn't come up, I'll still bring it up later on, before I end this review. So, but yeah, FTR wins, and see where it goes more into this whole story between FTR and the Young Bucks, and also what pertains to this whole thing. What's Tully Blanchard's plan here? What's his what's his goal here with FTR? Sonny Kiss and Joey Janela defeated Michael Nakazawa and Pineapple Pete. I'm not gonna talk about the match. The match itself wasn't bad, wasn't terrible. Unless you want to talk about some spots they did in the match was terrible, which I don't want to talk about. But I'm just gonna move forward for that one, because next we get to Skylar Moore versus Abadon. Now in this match, Abadon should have squashed Skylar Moore. And I understand they wanted to showcase Skylar Moore too, with what she could do in the ring. But I think she got way too much offense against someone like an Abadon. Like, for example, Anna Jay, when she made her Dynamite debut, and she got her ass kicked by Abadon, and she got about 1 to 2 offense in the match, but that's all she needed. And then later on, Abadon basically squashes her, in quick seconds. But Skylar Moore lasted longer than Anna Jay. So, but I still like what Abadon was doing in the match. Retains of a unique aura. But at the same time, you're supposed to be heavily showcase what Abadon is all about, what she's capable to do to her opponents. If you showcase like that to her, having Skylar Moore, getting the huge offense of her, not just in the ring but also outside the ring, you're not making Abadon look good. So I thought that was a poor booking on AEW's part, who booked this match for Abadon, to be giving her that many offense. Do you see Undertaker giving anyone that type of offense? For someone who's not really unknown to be a wrestler like Skylar Moore? No, I highly doubt that. And that's who I want to see Abadon as. I want to see Abadon as the female Undertaker. Like also like a Bray Wyatt, where it pertains to the Fiend, and also where it pertains to the Big Red Machine Kane when he made his debut and all that. To be a monster in the women's wrestling of AEW. You showcase like this, people are not going to be invested in of her character. I mean, her character herself looks unique, the way she looks. But at the same time, she's supposed to be dominant. She's supposed to be destroying her opponents, not having her opponents get the best of her until she gets them where she wants them. That's my take on that. So yeah, but Abadon did win, which was the right call. I don't remember how she won though. That's the thing, because I really can't remember how she won the match. And on top of that, Abadon, her wrestling is decent, but again, I want to see more of what she can do. I want to see more of her dominance, more of destruction, more of her destroying her opponents, not her opponents getting the upper hand on her. The Dark Order, Stu Grayson and Evil Uno versus John Dean and Will Hobbs. Match itself, it was decent. Wasn't into that much, but I do enjoy always watching seeing Stu Grayson wrestling. Stu Grayson is pretty good. Very underrated in AEW. And in the end, obviously the Dark Order won the match. The Dark Order was also at on stage basically. Not all of them, but just the ones that need to watch the match and to see what they need to do to improve more to impress the Exalted One, Mr. Brody Lee. So, and that was it. That was basically the match, and I could say it was just a decent match. Another decent match we had was Scorpio Sky, Mr. Reach for the Sky, versus Corey Hollins. And match itself, it was decent too. And in the end, obviously, they're building up Scorpio Sky, and Scorpio Sky gets the win with the TKO. And there you go. Nothing else to say about that. Other than I thought it was a decent match. The Bad Girl, Penelope Ford, being accompanied by Super Bad Kip Sabian, as Penelope Ford goes up against Kenzie Page, meant to say. Sorry, folks. I thought it was on a stroke. But yeah, Penelope Ford and Kenzie Page. Now I'm having a brain fart now. I don't know what's going on right now. So Kenzie Page, she showcased what she could do in the match a little bit against Penelope Ford, but at the end of the day, Penelope Ford gets the win over Kenzie Page, and that's basically it. And let's say about it, other than I thought it was a decent match, and it really showcased Kenzie Page what she could do in the ring. And this is the type of match I would love to see two women going at it back and forth. Not when you're in a match against Abadon. If you get my drift, if you get on what I'm saying here. So there you go. But yeah, Penelope Ford looking good once again. By the way, I gotta mention one thing. Kenzie Page, she botched the lethal injection move that Penelope Ford did to her, and then Penelope Ford went for a pin, but she's like, no, I'm not gonna end it like that. She's gonna end it with the perfect plex, what she always does. Basically the fisherwoman suplex. Basically it is basically the fisherman suplex, but she's a woman. I'm calling it the fisherwoman suplex, like I've been doing it for a while. And yeah, she Penelope Ford, she did a good thing there, because she's calling the match. She's in charge of the match, and she decided to book her own finish instead of the one that she was going for, with the lethal injection, which is the handspring into a cutter, which again Kenzie Page fucked it up. So Penelope Ford went for a fisherman suplex, and she got the win with that because of that. And yes, and I'm calling it the fisherwoman suplex. Wardlow squashes Aaron Solo. And after the match, Wardlow continued to punish on Aaron Solo, meant to say. Slolo. that didn't sound right. But yeah, but Wardlow wins the match. No surprise there, obviously. And there was no MJF there. It was just Wardlow on his own. And to be honest with you, Wardlow didn't need any help anyways. So, not that he needed one in the first place, but just saying. Aaron Solo, and also Wardlow was looking at, for a reason, Lee Johnson. I'm assuming that's gonna be the next match for AEW Dark, maybe, saying that this is gonna be you ever. And another thing too, they wrestled her before, so I'm thinking to myself, are they gonna wrestle her again? That's something for me and for any of you watching AEW Dark to think about. Next we get Best Friends, Trent and Chuck Taylor versus Alex Reynolds and John Silver of the Dark Order. Match itself, it was decent, and in the end, it was the Best Friends win the match. And in this match, you gotta get the people what they want, and what the people want is for Best Friends to hug. Just saying. But yeah, I think the Dark Order was watching on too, on stage. And then, if there wasn't, then yeah, maybe they were, maybe they weren't. I don't know. I don't remember, but hey, in the end, Mr. Braley may not like this that Silver and Reynolds are losing once again, because they're supposed to be, learning how to win matches, and as being members of the Dark Order. So then we get to the Murder Hawk Monster, Lance Archer, being accompanied by Jake the Snake Roberts versus Frankie Thomas. And Lance Archer came out. He has some guy with him. He slams it on the stage and gets in the ring and does what he gotta do against Frankie Thomas. Frankie Thomas just gets a little bit of offense against Lance Archer, but at the end of the day, wasn't enough. And during the match too, in the middle of the match, Lance Archer see the same dude who was in the front row He's like, you stay down. Knocks him out and everything. And then on commentary, you hear Taz saying, is that the same guy? And then Excalibur said, well, if that's the same guy, he must be the dumbest guy in the building, because why would you stay when after what Lance Archer did to you? I would have left. I agree. When you cross Lance Archer's path, the Murdoch monster looking to kill someone. In the end, Lance Archer gets the win, and no surprise there. But I'm getting sick and tired of seeing Lance Archer wrestling on Dark and not having him wrestle on Dynamite, and not being featured Dynamite that much like he was before. But I'll talk a little more about that when I get to the review of for All Elite Wrestling where it tends to Dynamite. But another belt, a win for the Murdoch Monster, Lance Archer, because everybody dies. Then we get to Freshly Squeezed, Orange Cassidy versus Serpentico. And yes, it was the real Serpentico. Orange Cassidy got the win. Match wasn't that long. So, and he beat him with the, basically rolling up and blocking his legs and all that, and got the win. I forgot what that pin move is called again, but it's a unique pin move, and he could, Serpentico couldn't get out of it. So, once again, we get another victory here for Freshly Squeezed, Orange Cassidy. Then we get the Spanish God, Sammy Guevara of the Inner Circle versus Fuego del Sol. Match itself was pretty good, because of Sammy Guevara. And Sammy Guevara Sammy Guevara looked like he never missed a step. In the end, Sammy Guevara got the win with the GTH, and the birthday boy. And by the way, it was his birthday too. So happy late birthday to Sammy Guevara. The birthday boy got the win on AEW Dark, and it's his first return in a match on Dark, and I cannot wait to see what he does on Dynamite too. I will give you a review of that one too when I get to it, which I've already seen. But basically what I'm trying to say is that, and I'm gonna let you know how I feel about his return on Dynamite. I meant to say, we'll get to that. But for now, Sammy Guevara got the win on Dark against Fuego Fuego del Sol, and once again, happy late birthday to the Spanish God. Then we get to the main event. SCU, Christopher Danielson, Frankie Kazarian versus Santana Ortiz, Proud and Powerful, representing the Inner Circle. And you got Private Party, Isaiah Cassidy, and Mark Quinn being accompanied by Big Money Matt. That's who it was. And the reason I say that is because Big Money Matt speaks to Private Party before the match, saying that he is proud of them, and saying, but he doesn't want them to let them down. And with the way matches, it gets Matt Hardy more over. He's being Big Money Matt and everything. He's got the money and everything. Yeah, so I loved it. So there you go. All right. I can't remember if Matt Hardy wrestled on Dark before. If he hasn't, then he needs to start wrestling on Dark. Since to his different gimmicks. And yes, he has said something about not doing his gimmicks anymore, more since to AEW Dynamite. And I think if that's true, then hey, do it on Dark, and do it on your YouTube channel, and on Being the Elite. So that's the best way he can do it. But it wasn't that long of a clip to where it comes to that whole thing. But I'll talk more about that when hopefully on the next video of All Elite Wrestling, basically. So, but yeah, the match itself was good. In the end, it was Santana Ortiz getting the win over Mark Quinn, with basically Ortiz hooking the leg on after they did basically they cheated. That's basically what happened. They cheated to win. So Big Money Man was I guess Big Money Man wasn't happy of Private Party not winning the match, because again, they need to win more money, which means if they win more money goes to Big Money Man, and with the winning matches, that means Big Money Man gets more over, and they fail. So in a way, they let Big Money Man down. So so there you go. Oh, by the way, Mark Quinn finally got rid of the vest thing that he finally took off. To actually wrestle without it, and I think that's good. Because to me, I thought it always looked silly on him when he was wrestling with that. But he decided to take it off this time, and I'm glad he did. So yeah, And that was AEW Dark, where it pertains to the main event that I thought was good. So the 12 wrestling for AEW Dark from July 28th, 2020 was 12 matches. And my overall strength for the show, I'm going to go with a 6 out of 10. And with that being said, thank you all for watching for It's Not a Boring Thriller, saying peace on the streets. This is what I meant to do, not this. So this was your All Elite Wrestling Review, representing giving you AEW Dark results from July 28th, 2020. Until next time, folks, for All Elite Wrestling Review, which will be AEW Dynamite results from July 29th, 2020. So until then, stay well, stay safe, take care of everything that's going on in the world, wear your mask, and I'm out. Ta-ta for now.